Well, let's talk about this. Severe weather rolling into New York, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. There they are on your screen. And here's your headline. If you live in one of those cities, just get ready. Brace for sweeping rain. Might even be what we saw in Forrest Gump. Sideways rain. Wind and rain together. In fact, in some parts, officials urging you to really be careful. Tie down your outdoor items, your lawn chairs, those tables out there. The concern is when those winds kick up, those items could become dangerous projectiles. You see the picture there in all of those cities, and you've got to wonder who puts out lawn chairs when it's that cold anyway. Jess?
That's a good point. And at the same time, I mean, not only are we dealing with just damaging winds and severe weather widespread throughout the South, but there's snow to the north right now, and there's tornado watches and warnings active right now over into the Carolinas and close to Virginia. So I want to talk about that first. We head over to the map real fast. I want to show you that timeline of the storm. Heading into the afternoon hours today, we watched that severe weather continue to sweep across Atlanta into the Carolinas, while at the same time that area of low pressure brings in plenty of snow to the Great Lakes off into the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast too. Now, another thing to mention with that has to do with damaging winds and, of course, the tornado watches that we've been continuing to keep a close eye on. That's in that yellow color just along South Carolina up into North Carolina. But take a look behind me. As we time this storm out, we'll continue to watch damaging winds and rain and snow and hail possible, too, with these thunderstorms continue to track offshore into the evening hours tonight. On the back end of that is more snow that will sweep throughout the Great Lakes up into northern portions of New York. But for the most part, the storm system, it'll start clearing up as we head into our Thursday evening, early Friday morning forecast. For the time being, we're in the middle of it right now. And so here's our tornado threat along the Carolina coastline, anywhere from Wilmington all the way down into Charleston, South Carolina. That just updated in real time. Now the National Weather Service has continued that tornado watch all the way up into the Outer Banks, removing some of it just to the north, closer to Virginia. This is happening right now in that red color you see anywhere from Virginia all the way down into North Carolina. We're monitoring these counties closely, Reed, because tornado activity is possible. The radar is picking up rotation, so it's really important to note that you know, we make the joke about the lawn chairs and everything that's outside, but in real time, we're continuing to see damaging winds potentially impact these communities.
That's right. We are a broadcast that knows that all stories are local stories, and you use the perfect word, communities. And people in those communities in the Carolinas, we know if you're watching, you're likely weary because you can't catch a break. We're talking about the flooding and the snow and the fires. And now another bout of that heavy rain and wind. So let's go live now to CBS News national correspondent Dave Malkoff. You're in Raleigh, North Carolina. We can see you're bracing for it. What are the people behind you bracing for, Dave?
Reed, let me jump on what Jessica was just talking about. She was showing you on the map. Let me show you the ground truth. Right over there, you see that round building. Beyond that, just north of Raleigh, we now have a tornado warning that expires in just about 20 minutes. A tornado warning means that there is radar indicated rotation in the storm, and that is a possibility of a tornado possibly happening in that region. We've got another 20 minutes, so if you're in the area north of town here in Raleigh, North Carolina, you want to get to your safe space. That means surround yourself with as many walls as you can far away from windows. Just get there until that tornado warning passes. No indication of anything on the ground right now, but that's what we have right now. So people all over this region are watching as this kind of trains through. So what you saw happening in Oklahoma and North Texas, you were seeing that kind of storm training through, and now it's coming through here. We're right in the middle of it, pushing northeast at about 60 miles an hour. That's not the wind speed, that's how fast the storm is actually moving up. So later on in the day, we're going to see that on the west coast. So Reed, just one more time, if you're looking at right into where that tornado warning is coming from, it's coming from just north of town. I do hear some emergency equipment, don't know what that's about, but we do have that radar indicated rotation.
Yeah, you hear those sirens not knowing what they're about in the midst of these headlines. It's a cause for concern. Dave, you stay safe as well, and thank you for those warnings for our viewers.